From its bizarre debut, before anyone knew what it was, to its controversial liquid-cooled engine that sparked Harley purist outrage, Captain America's Street 750 motorcycle has a wild behind-the-scenes story. This sleek urban bike appeared in multiple MCU films, got donated to charity by Chris Evans, and even caused identity confusion when the Winter Soldier rode it instead of Cap. Here are 15 weird facts you didn't know about Marvel's Captain America Harley-Davidson Street 750. Fact 1. The bike debuted in a movie trailer before its official launch. The Harley-Davidson Street 750 managed to pull off something almost unheard of in the motorcycle industry. It appeared on movie screens before anyone even knew it officially existed. When Marvel released the Captain America The Winter Soldier trailer on October 25, 2013, eagle-eyed viewers caught glimpses of a sleek, dark motorcycle that looked unlike any Harley they had seen before. The bike appeared at the 2-minute 7-second mark of the trailer, showing Captain America racing through urban environments on this mysterious machine. What made this truly bizarre was that Harley-Davidson had not yet announced the Street 750 to the world. The motorcycle would not be officially unveiled until November 4, 2013, at the EICMA show in Milan, Italy, more than a week after millions of people had already seen it in action. This created an unusual situation where movie fans were essentially getting a sneak preview of a major new Harley model before the motorcycle press, or even Harley dealers, knew what it was. The timing was no accident. Harley-Davidson and Marvel had been working together on product placement, and the trailer release served as a kind of guerrilla marketing campaign. While motorcycle journalists at EICMA would later get their first official look at what Harley called its most significant new model in 13 years, the general public had already watched it chase bad guys through Washington, D.C. It was an unconventional way to launch a motorcycle, letting Hollywood do the talking before the company itself said a word. The Street 750 would go on to appear in multiple Marvel films, but its first appearance remains the strangest. A movie trailer cameo that turned into an accidental product reveal. Fact 2. 6 SHIELD agents rode Street 750s to the Hollywood premiere. The Hollywood premiere of Captain America, The Winter Soldier on March 13, 2014, turned into an elaborate theatrical entrance for the Harley-Davidson Street 750. Harley-Davidson did not just park a few motorcycles outside the venue for photo opportunities. Instead, the company staged a full performance piece that brought the fictional world of SHIELD to life. As media and celebrities arrived at the red carpet, 6 Harley-Davidson Street 750s roared up to the event, each one ridden by a person dressed in full SHIELD agent costume. These riders were not stunt professionals, but actors hired specifically to embody the secretive government organization from the Marvel films. The 6 motorcycles created a convoy effect surrounding one special Street 750 that would become the center of attention as the evening progressed. Fans who attended the special Hollywood event got to see these SHIELD agents up close, and the motorcycles themselves became props in an interactive experience. The entire display blurred the line between movie marketing and real-world product launch, turning what could have been a standard premiere into something more memorable. Harley-Davidson's marketing team coordinated with Marvel to ensure the bikes looked exactly as they appeared in the film, maintaining continuity between fiction and reality. This was not the first time Harley had partnered with Hollywood, but the scale and theatricality of this particular premiere entrance set it apart. By the time the actual movie stars arrived, the Street 750s had already made their impression, serving as both transportation and entertainment. It was a carefully orchestrated spectacle designed to generate buzz for both the film and the motorcycle. Fact 3. Chris Evans donated his autographed Street 750 to charity. One of the 6 Harley-Davidson Street 750s at the Winter Soldier premiere was destined for a very different fate than the others. After the SHIELD agent entrance concluded and the red carpet portion of the evening moved forward, Harley-Davidson staged a surprise event for fans who had been selected to walk the red carpet. This special Street 750 became the focus of an impromptu signing session. Chris Evans, who played Captain America, signed the motorcycle along with Scarlett Johansson, Samuel L. Jackson, Anthony Mackie, Cobie Smulders, and the rest of the film's cast. Celebrities and influencers who were attending the premiere also added their signatures to the bike, turning it into a unique piece of memorabilia covered in dozens of autographs. Once the signing concluded, Harley-Davidson made the announcement that would complete this unusual story. The autographed Street 750 would be given to Chris Evans, not as a gift for him to keep, but specifically so he could donate it to a charity of his choice. Evans selected the Concord Youth Theater in Massachusetts, an organization dedicated to providing theater education and performance opportunities for young people. The motorcycle would be auctioned off or otherwise used to raise funds for the theater company. This arrangement benefited everyone involved. Harley-Davidson received positive publicity for the charitable gesture. Marvel generated goodwill for its star and the film, and the Concord Youth Theater received a one-of-a-kind item that would attract significant attention from both motorcycle enthusiasts and Marvel fans. The Street 750, covered in celebrity signatures, became far more than just a prop or a marketing tool. It transformed into a fundraising vehicle that connected Hollywood glamour with community arts education. Fact 4. The bike was built in India for global markets. The Harley-Davidson Street 750 represented a radical departure from the company's traditional manufacturing approach, and it sparked considerable controversy among longtime Harley enthusiasts. For the first time in the company's history, Harley-Davidson was not just assembling motorcycles overseas, but fully manufacturing them, including the engines, at a facility outside the United States. The split production model worked like this. Street 750s destined for the United States and Canada were built at Harley's Vehicle and Powertrain Operations Plant in Kansas City, Missouri, where a dedicated manufacturing line produced the liquid-cooled Revolution X engine and assembled the complete motorcycles. However, every Street 750 sold in India, Italy, Spain, Portugal, and other international markets was completely built at Harley-Davidson's facility in Bawal, India, which had been expanded from a simple assembly plant into a full manufacturing operation specifically for the street models. The Indian factory produced its own Revolution X engines and 6-speed transmissions, sourcing parts from suppliers around the world. Harley-Davidson insisted that the motorcycles were identical regardless of where they were built, using the same specifications, components, and quality control standards. The company even noted that both versions used the same headlights and turn signals that met legal requirements in all markets worldwide. The only difference was a small detail required by Indian law. Motorcycles built in Bawal included a special sari guard on the rear wheel because passengers in India often ride side saddle. By manufacturing in India, Harley avoided steep import tariffs that would have made the bikes prohibitively expensive in international markets. This strategy helped Harley capture significant market share in India and other developing nations, but it also fueled criticism from American riders who questioned whether an Indian-built motorcycle could truly be called a Harley-Davidson. Fact 5. It features Harley's heretical liquid-cooled engine. The Harley-Davidson Motor Company earned its name from the engines it builds, and for over a century, those engines had followed a sacred formula: air-cooled, pushrod-operated, 45-degree V-twins that produced the distinctive Harley rumble. The Street 750's Revolution X engine violated nearly every part of that tradition. Instead of air cooling, the Revolution X used liquid cooling with a visible radiator, immediately marking it as different. Instead of pushrods, it used chain-driven single overhead camshafts with 4 valves per cylinder. Instead of the iconic 45-degree V-twin configuration, the Revolution X spread its cylinders at a 60-degree angle. To traditional Harley enthusiasts, these changes represented nothing less than heresy. The backlash was swift and vocal. Online forums filled with complaints from longtime Harley owners who declared the Street 750 was not a real Harley-Davidson. Some compared it unfavorably to Japanese motorcycles, suggesting Harley was abandoning its identity to chase younger riders. The liquid cooling system drew particular ire because it was the most visible sign that this bike was different. Critics pointed out that Harley had faced similar resistance when it introduced the V-Rod in 2001, which also featured liquid cooling and a Porsche-designed engine. That bike never achieved mainstream acceptance among traditional Harley riders, and many feared the Street 750 would suffer the same fate. The 60-degree V-twin angle, while necessary to lower the engine's height and create space for the fuel injection system, further distanced the bike from Harley's heritage. Defenders of the street. 750 argued that Harley needed to evolve to survive, that younger riders wanted modern technology and performance rather than tradition for tradition's sake. But the controversy highlighted a fundamental tension within Harley-Davidson: how to attract new customers without alienating the loyal base that had sustained the company for generations. Fact 6. Tyler Posey hosted the premiere as official Harley commentator. The Hollywood premiere of Captain America, the Winter Soldier, featured an unlikely host who bridged the gap between Marvel's superhero universe and Harley-Davidson's motorcycle culture. Tyler Posey, best known at the time for starring in MTV's Teen Wolf series, served as the official Harley-Davidson commentator and host for the red carpet event. His role went beyond simply introducing the motorcycles or providing background information. Posey interacted directly with fans who had been spontaneously selected from the crowd to walk the official red carpet and experience the Street 750 display up close. These lucky attendees got to pose for selfies with Posey, who was photographed standing beside the motorcycles and engaging with fans in a casual, approachable manner. The choice of Tyler Posey made strategic sense for Harley-Davidson's marketing goals. As a young actor and musician with a substantial following among the exact demographic Harley was targeting, Posey embodied the kind of customer the company hoped would embrace the Street 750. He represented youth, urban cool, and accessibility, the same qualities Harley wanted associated with its new motorcycle. Throughout the evening, Posey helped explain the features of the Street 750 to attendees, pointing out details of the bike's design and connecting it to the movie that had just premiered. His presence added an extra layer of celebrity appeal to an event already packed with A-list talent from the film. For fans attending the premiere, meeting Tyler Posey and getting close to the Street 750s created a memorable experience that merged entertainment properties. The evening became as much about the motorcycles as it was about the movie, with Posey serving as the charismatic link between these two worlds. His enthusiasm and genuine interaction with fans helped generate positive social media buzz around the Street 750 launch. Fact 7. Captain America actually throws the bike at enemies. Captain America has performed many impressive feats with his vibranium shield throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But one of his most unexpected weapon choices appeared in Avengers: Age of Ultron, when he decided his motorcycle itself could be a projectile. During the opening battle sequence set in the fictional Eastern European country of Sokovia, Captain America rides his Harley-Davidson Street 750 through the snowy forest alongside his fellow Avengers as they assault a Hydra research facility. The action is fast-paced and chaotic, with Captain America using his super soldier agility to maneuver the bike through dangerous terrain while under fire. But then comes the moment that transformed the Street 750 from transportation into ammunition. As Captain America approaches a Humvee filled with Hydra soldiers, he performs an acrobatic somersault while still in motion, launching himself into the air. In one fluid movement, he grabs the Street 750 and hurls the entire motorcycle through the air like an oversized throwing star. The bike crashes directly into the Humvee with devastating effect, taking out the enemy vehicle and its occupants in a spectacular explosion of metal and glass. The stunt perfectly encapsulates Captain America's fighting style, using whatever is available as a weapon and combining superhuman strength with tactical thinking. The scene also highlighted an interesting aspect of being a superhero. When you possess the strength to lift and throw a 514-pound motorcycle, why not use it as a weapon when the situation calls for it? The destruction of the Street 750 in this manner did not exactly showcase the bike's durability or handling characteristics. Instead, it demonstrated that in the Marvel Universe, even an expensive Harley-Davidson motorcycle is ultimately expendable if it helps win the battle. The filmmakers treated the Street 750 as just another tool in Captain America's arsenal, one that happened to be single-use. Fact 8. The Winter Soldier rode it more than Captain America. Despite Harley-Davidson's marketing partnership billing the Street 750 as Captain America's motorcycle, the character who actually got the most memorable riding scenes on the bike was not Steve Rogers at all, but rather Bucky Barnes, also known as the Winter Soldier. In Captain America: Civil War, the Winter Soldier rides a specially customized Street 750 during several intense chase sequences, and his version of the bike featured modifications that made it visually distinct from the stock model Captain America had ridden in previous films. The customizations included LED taillights that gave the rear of the motorcycle a more modern appearance, red shocks with gas reservoirs that added a pop of color to the otherwise dark bike, and what some observers believed was a Screamin' Eagle exhaust system, though this detail was never officially confirmed. These modifications suggested that the Winter Soldier, or whoever had prepared his equipment, had taken the time to personalize the motorcycle for performance and style. The bike's appearance in Civil War was highlighted in the official trailer at the 1-minute mark, giving viewers a tantalizing glimpse of the modified Street 750 in action. Harley-Davidson promoted this version heavily, describing it as a one-of-a-kind Harley-Davidson Street 750 customized specifically for the film. The irony of this situation was not lost on motorcycle enthusiasts or Marvel fans. Harley had spent considerable effort establishing the Street 750 as Captain America's bike, linking it to his character and values. But when it came time for the motorcycle to get serious screen time with meaningful action sequences, it was the conflicted anti-hero Winter Soldier who commanded it. This shift reflected the evolution of the Marvel Cinematic Universe storyline, where Bucky Barnes became a more central character with his own action scenes and dramatic moments. The Winter Soldier's use of the Street 750 gave the bike a different character association, one that was perhaps more dangerous and unpredictable than Captain America's straightforward heroism. Fact 9. It's one of the most hated Harleys ever made. While the Harley-Davidson Street 750 enjoyed prominent placement in multiple Marvel blockbusters, its reception among actual motorcycle enthusiasts was far less enthusiastic. In fact, the Street 750 earned a reputation as one of the most disliked motorcycles in Harley-Davidson's modern lineup, with criticism coming from multiple directions. Longtime Harley owners pointed to the liquid-cooled engine as a betrayal of the brand's air-cooled heritage, comparing it unfavorably to traditional Harley motors. The Revolution X engine's 60-degree V-twin configuration, while technically necessary to lower the center of gravity and accommodate modern fuel injection systems, sounded different from classic Harleys, lacking the distinctive rumble that enthusiasts expected. Performance was another major complaint. With only 47.5 horsepower and 47.9 pound-feet of torque, the Street 750 was underpowered compared to competitors in the same price range. Riders noted that while the bike could reach 80 miles per hour, it struggled to maintain high speeds comfortably. The Indian manufacturing also became a contentious issue, with some American riders refusing to consider it a real Harley because it was not built in the United States. Critics also pointed to fit and finish issues, including exposed wiring, flimsy-feeling brake and clutch levers, and paint quality that did not meet traditional Harley standards. These quality concerns suggested that Harley had cut costs to achieve the Street 750's relatively affordable price point. The most damaging criticism concerned resale value. Because demand for used Street 750s remained low, owners discovered they could not recoup much of their investment when trying to sell or trade the bike. Online forums filled with advice steering potential buyers away from the Street 750 and toward the 883 Iron or 1200 Sportster models instead, which offered better performance and held their value more effectively. This negative reputation persisted throughout the bike's production run, making the Street 750 a cautionary tale about the risks of trying to expand a brand's appeal. Fact 10. the Russo brothers prioritized practical stunts over CGI directors. Anthony and Joe Russo made a deliberate choice when crafting the action sequences for Captain America, the Winter Soldier that would directly impact how the Harley-Davidson Street 750 appeared on screen. Rather than relying heavily on computer-generated imagery, the Russo brothers insisted on practical effects and real stunt work whenever possible. This philosophy extended to the motorcycle sequences featuring the Street 750, resulting in genuine riding stunts that gave the action scenes a grounded, tangible quality. Actor Anthony Mackie, who played Sam Wilson in the film, specifically praised the directors for this approach, explaining that the Russos wanted to stay with live action, which he called a dying art form. According to Mackie, if the directors and their team could physically build something, they built it. If they could actually do a stunt, they did it in real life. The directors wanted to use as little computer-generated imagery as possible, and Mackie believed this commitment to practical effects was exactly why the movie looked so impressive. The most famous example of this practical approach was the Quinjet attack sequence, where Captain America confronts a CGI-ed aircraft while riding the Street 750. Rather than creating the entire scene digitally, the filmmakers used real motorcycle stunts combined with practical effects. They built physical sets, used actual motorcycles, and employed skilled stunt performers to execute the dangerous maneuvers. Special effects supervisor Dan Sudik and stunt coordinator Thomas Harper worked closely with the Russo brothers to determine what could be accomplished practically. Visual effects supervisor Dan DeLeo later explained that he specifically went to the practical effects team and asked what they could do to help minimize the need for visual effects. This collaborative approach resulted in scenes where stunt performers actually ran through doors, performed parkour wall jumps, and executed motorcycle maneuvers that would be painted over or enhanced with visual effects only when absolutely necessary. While the film still required 2,500 visual effects shots overall, the motorcycle action maintained a visceral quality that distinguished it from more CGI-heavy superhero film. Fact 11. Harley's first all-new platform in 13 years. When Harley-Davidson unveiled the Street 750 at the EICMA show in November 2013, the company was not just introducing a new model, but launching an entirely new platform that represented the first completely ground-up motorcycle design from Milwaukee in 13 years. The previous all-new platform had been the V-Rod in 2001, making the Street 750 the most significant engineering undertaking Harley had attempted in over a decade. Every major component of the Street 750 was designed from scratch specifically for this motorcycle. The Revolution X engine shared absolutely no parts with any existing Harley motor, a remarkable departure for a company known for evolutionary rather than revolutionary changes. This new power plant featured a completely different architecture than traditional Harley engines, with its liquid cooling system, chain-driven single overhead camshafts, and 4 valves per cylinder, representing technologies that had never appeared together in a production Harley before. The chassis was equally new, designed to accommodate the Revolution X engine's unique dimensions and to provide the nimble handling characteristics that Harley believed urban riders wanted. The suspension, braking systems, electronics, and even minor components like the foot peg mounts were all developed specifically for the street platform. This comprehensive redesign gave Harley engineers freedom to optimize every aspect of the motorcycle without being constrained by legacy components or traditional design expectations. The Street 500, which launched alongside the 750, shared this same platform but with a smaller displacement engine achieved simply by reducing the bore size. The scale of this engineering effort reflected Harley-Davidson's recognition that attracting younger riders in global markets would require more than just updating existing models. The company needed a fundamentally different motorcycle that could compete with established players in the entry-level and middleweight segments while still maintaining some connection to Harley's brand identity. Fact 12. The bike was designed with young urban riders in mind. The Harley-Davidson Street 750 emerged from an unusually extensive research and development process that placed potential customers at the center of the design conversation. Unlike traditional motorcycle development, where engineers and designers made decisions based on their own expertise and assumptions, Harley-Davidson conducted what the company described as thousands of hours of input sessions with young adults in cities around the world. These research efforts took place in urban environments across multiple countries, with Harley representatives meeting with riders and potential riders to understand what they wanted from a motorcycle. The resulting feedback shaped every aspect of the Street 750's design, from its physical dimensions to its performance characteristics. Young urban riders told Harley they wanted nimble agility that would allow them to navigate crowded city streets with confidence. They wanted a low seat height that would make the bike accessible to shorter riders and less intimidating to beginners. They wanted modern technology like fuel injection and liquid cooling rather than old-fashioned carburation and air cooling. They wanted a bike that could handle both urban commuting and occasional highway rides without being optimized for long-distance touring. The Street 750's specifications directly reflected this input. Its 28.3-inch seat height made it one of the most accessible Harley models for riders of various sizes. The 514-pound wet weight kept it relatively light and manageable at low speeds. The mid-mounted foot pegs and upright seating position provided a comfortable stance for urban riding rather than the forward-mounted controls and laid-back posture of traditional cruisers. Matt Levitich, who was president and chief operating officer of Harley-Davidson Motor Company at the time, emphasized that the motorcycles were proof that being customer-led continued to be a core driver of the company's product development process. This customer-centric approach represented a significant philosophical shift for Harley-Davidson, moving away from the attitude that the company knew what riders wanted toward a more collaborative design process. Fact 13. It was discontinued. After just 7 years. The Harley-Davidson Street 750's production run ended abruptly in 2021, just 7 years after the model launched with such fanfare at the Winter Soldier premiere and ECMA show. This relatively short lifespan marked the Street 750 as one of the briefest production runs for any major Harley model in recent company history. The discontinuation was directly tied to Harley-Davidson's decision to close its manufacturing facility in Bhopal, India, where the majority of Street 750s for global markets had been built. This closure was part of a larger strategic restructuring called the Rewire, through which Harley-Davidson aimed to streamline operations and focus resources on its premium product lines rather than entry-level models. The timing was particularly unfortunate for the Street 750 because the model had found considerable success in markets like India, where it had become the most affordable way for riders to own a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Indian customers had embraced the Street 750 specifically because local manufacturing kept the price competitive with other motorcycles in the segment. When Harley closed the Bhopal plant and stopped production, it effectively abandoned these markets and the customers who had supported the model. For the United States and Canadian markets, where Street 750s had always been manufactured in Kansas City, the discontinuation reflected Harley's assessment that the model had failed to achieve its goals of attracting and retaining younger riders. Despite prominent appearances in multiple Marvel films and Harley's significant marketing investment, the Street 750 never escaped its reputation as an underpowered, underbuilt motorcycle that could not compete with similarly priced offerings from Japanese and European manufacturers. The short production run also hurt resale values even further, as prospective used bike buyers became wary of purchasing a discontinued model with uncertain parts, availability, and limited dealer support. The Street 750's brief existence served as a reminder that even Hollywood fame and innovative engineering cannot guarantee a motorcycle's success in the marketplace. Fact 14. The 60-degree V-twin was revolutionary for Harley. The decision to use a 60-degree V-twin configuration in the Street 750's Revolution X engine represented one of the most radical departures from Harley-Davidson tradition and required extensive engineering justification to overcome internal resistance to change. For over a century, Harley-Davidson had built its reputation on 45-degree V-twin engines, an angle that had become so associated with the brand that it was considered part of Harley's identity. The distinctive sound that Harley enthusiasts loved came partially from this engine configuration, and changing it meant risking the loss of that signature characteristic. However, Harley's engineers determined that achieving the Street 750's design goals would be impossible with a traditional 45-degree V-twin. The wider 60-degree angle between cylinders allowed several critical improvements that directly addressed the needs identified in Harley's research with young urban riders. First, the 60-degree configuration lowered the overall height of the engine when installed in the motorcycle frame. This reduced height was essential for achieving the Street 750's remarkably low 28.3-inch seat height, making the bike accessible to shorter riders and less intimidating to beginners. Second, the increased space between the cylinders created room for modern fuel injection components and associated electronics that would not have fit in the tighter confines of a 45-degree V-twin. This allowed Harley to incorporate contemporary engine management technology that improved fuel efficiency, reduced emissions, and made the bike easier to start and ride in various conditions. Third, the 60-degree angle contributed to a lower center of gravity for the entire motorcycle, improving handling stability at low speeds and making tight urban maneuvering more confident and controllable. The engineering team also designed the Revolution X as a wet sump engine, another departure from some traditional Harley designs, which further contributed to the compact overall package. While traditional Harley enthusiasts mourned the loss of the iconic 45-degree V-twin configuration and the distinctive sound it produced, the 60-degree Revolution X demonstrated that sometimes innovation requires abandoning tradition. Fact 15. Captain America has ridden Harleys. Since 1941. In comics, the connection between Captain America and Harley-Davidson motorcycles extends far beyond the Marvel Cinematic Universe films, reaching back to the very origins of the character in comic book form. When Captain America made his first appearance in comic books in 1941, the illustrators drew him riding a Harley-Davidson WLA motorcycle, establishing an association between the character and the motorcycle brand that would persist for over 8 decades. This original choice made perfect sense within the context of World War II, when the story was created. The Harley-Davidson WLA, also known as the Liberator, was the standard military motorcycle used by American forces during the war. Seeing Captain America, the ultimate symbol of American patriotism and military might, riding the same motorcycle that real soldiers used in combat, created an authentic connection between the fictional superhero and actual military equipment. The WLA was produced in large numbers for the war effort, with Harley-Davidson manufacturing approximately 90,000 units for military use. Having Captain America ride a Harley-Davidson was not just product placement or a licensing deal, but an accurate reflection of what an American soldier in that era would actually ride. This historical accuracy mattered to comic book readers who were living through World War II and who would have immediately recognized the motorcycle. As the decades passed and Captain America continued to appear in comic books, the association with Harley-Davidson persisted, becoming part of the character's identity. When Marvel Studios began developing Captain America, the First Avenger, this long-standing relationship between the character and Harley-Davidson made the partnership natural and expected. Dino Bernacchi, Harley-Davidson's marketing communications director, specifically referenced this history when discussing the Street 750's appearance in The Winter Soldier, noting that Captain America had always been associated with riding Harley-Davidson motorcycles since his first introduction. The Marvel Cinematic Universe films were simply continuing a tradition that had been established nearly 75 years earlier, ensuring that modern audiences would see Captain America riding the same brand of motorcycle that the original comic book hero had ridden in 1941. 1941. 1941. 1941.